intelligence is a very interesting topic in these corporate worlds because if you're emotionally not sound and stable, you will not be able to perform your activities, your life, your personality, everything runs on emotions. So what exactly means by emotion? Emotions is derived from a Latin word called as motor, which means to move, things which is continuously in movement. So that is what emotions is all about. The key objective of this presentation is to study what are different types of emotions and to understand what is the difference between emotional quotient and intelligence quotient. Also to understand how and where emotional intelligence as an application can be used, what are the key components of the intelligence, and why should we study emotional intelligence, and what are the methods, how can we calculate emotional intelligence. So this is the main objective of my webinar. Now going forward, everyone knows that there are there are seven types of emotions. One is anger, second is fear, sadness, disgust, shame, environment, love. So they are the core basic seven elements of emotions, and if they are not well balanced, you may have problems in your intellect, you may have problems in your life, professional and personal. So it's very important for us to manage these seven core emotions. Now going forward, like what emotion is basically, emotion is, it derives three things: your feelings, second thoughts, third actions. Your feeling is related to thoughts, thoughts are related to actions. So emotional awareness liberates you. Emotion is an energy which drives you, and feelings are the conscious, and moods are the feeling which makes you aware. Now how this FTA helps you in driving your personality. So these FTAs are the one which are responsible for your personality. So now what is actions? So actions makes habits, habits make traits, traits make your personality. So how these goes, how emotions are related to actions, habits, and traits. I'm going to explain you further. So when you're emotional, you invoke thoughts. Thoughts comes in your mind. Different things come to your mind. If a person is a stable person, he will have stable thoughts. If the person is rational, he'll have different rational thoughts in his mind. So thoughts will provoke him to do certain things. Those things and reactions are converts into actions. That is the result of his emotional outburst or thoughts outbursts. So when these actions are done repeatedly, continuously, again and again, they convert into your habits. Habits become your permanent part of your lifestyle. Now when it becomes habit, they become the core individual personality of your life. These are called as traits. So you can see how emotions converts into action, and action converts into habit and traits. And when we see the entire traits of a person, that makes his personality. So to understand the personality of a person, it is very important to know what is the emotional intelligence or emotional status of that person is. So it's very important why and how a person is reacting, because when he is emotional, he is tend to do a certain kinds of actions, and which becomes a part of his activity. It's always said that when you practice something for 21 days, it becomes your habit and part of personality. Now emotion intelligence can be also be explained as integral part of heart, brain, and emotions. So what exactly emotion is? It's the and function, Boolean and function of heart and brain. So the moment take a child is born, and the way he lives his life, the around his surrounds his environment, and kind of things he do, and those all all are the integral part, and makes the emotionally intelligent a person. I can explain this by a mathematical equation, which you will understand in a better manner. So integration is the integration of birth to the present date, present age to death of time, of heart and brain. Whereas C is the constant factor, which is the environment around the person. So how a person reacts, how a person performs his action by brain and by his heart, plus the surroundings of his. The collateral part of it is the mathematical form of emotional intelligence. Can somebody please switch off the mic in between, because I'm getting speaker voice. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
we are doing this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm proceeding further. So, one of the very important factor in a person's life is stress. So when a stress is introduced in person's life, it kinds of pressurizes your heart and brain, which tends to do things in not in an appropriate manner. So if you are under so much of stress, your emotional levels will not be in a proper manner, and you tends to do mistakes. And there might be also other reasons you may fail to perform your performance or the expected performance. This can be explained in the next flow chart. So this is a normal life cycle of a person. Like a person has a belief, he has a value, values tends into in behavior, behavior tends makes his customs, customs makes his norms, norms makes his tradition, and this is all about of culture. This is a very standard model of a very normal person whose life is not being induced with stress. Now if I see that if a person's life becomes disturbed by introduction of stress in his life, so what will happen? This stress will enter into his behavior. This behavior of his make him do things which is not expected by the normal person. This abnormal behavior will make him to in a conflicting manner. He will have a lot of conflicts with his colleague, lot of conflicts with his family members. His emotion outburst will go over them. Now this conflicts will tends he will make him more emotionally challenged, and this will enter into his behavior, and the entire his life cycle, custom, belief, everything will goes for the toss. Now further, what will happen that when this emotional outburst will happen, it will attitude, a negative feeling of the person, the negative feeling will enter into his behavior, and the entire his work life and personal life will get disturbed. So it's very, very important to understand what elements can become become disturbed. So it's very, very important here. Emotional intelligence plays a very, very important role in controlling the stress factor. Now proceeding further, if we go about what is most of us knows what is the difference between IQ and EQ. So IQ is basically the intelligence level of a person, how intelligent he is. So it was formed, discovered by a person called as Alfred Bennett. He came up with a formula called mental age and chronicle age are related. And if we have a ratio of it, and the IQ levels of the person will come. So chronicle age is something, the actual age of a person, he from the birth till now he has lived. Like for example, I'm 38 years old. My chronicle age is 38 years old, 1 month. And now when it comes to mental age is the ability of the person to perform a work at a certain level of age. So the relation between these two is called as IQ. Now there are different scales of IQ. If a person is IQ level comes between 50 to 70, it means he is suffering from mild retardation. He is not a normal person. If the range is between 35 to 50, his IQ level still not normal, and he is having moderate mild retardation. Similarly, if it is less than 20, then it is called as profound modular retardation. Now we have IQ scale called as SBF5 classification, which is through the IQ scale. When the range is between 145 to 160, the person is considered to be a genius person. Similarly, the ranges are there, and if the range is between 70 to 79, borderline IQ scales are considered. Average, most of us are having the IQ scale between 90 to 109. So these are the different IQ scales of a person, and IQ is about. Now, what is EQ? Emotional quotient is something which helps you to measure the emotional stability of the person. There are two well maybe known tests to calculate your emotional intelligence. One is multitask ability scale, designed by Mayers and Salvier. Second is emotional intelligence scale, developed by Sanjot and Upendra. So when we talk about multitask ability, there are four factors which we consider to measure the emotional intelligence. One is perceived and expressing emotions. So this we will measure how a person reacts to a particular emotion. Then coming out to assimilating emotions and thoughts, we have ability to measure that as well. How a person react to a particular thought, then understanding of emotions, and the fourth is reflective regulating of emotions. These are the four factors by which we will measure the emotional stability of a person using multiple task abilities. When it comes to emotional intelligence scale, there are around 10 factors which we need to measure. One is self-awareness, empathy, self-motivation, emotional stability, managing relations, integrity, self-development, and value additions, commitment, and elastic behavior. So once we measure these 10 scales, we will be able to find the EQ of a person. Once we are able to find the emotional quotient of a person, we will be able to help him out in performing the task in a better manner. One more difference between IQ and EQ is that IQ is permanent, whereas EQ keeps changing as per the environment and site. So if the stress is there, the EQ will not be constant, it will change. Whereas IQ still remain a constant for a person, because that is thinking ability of the person. Now, we did a small, test to find the sales intelligence, one of the branch of emotional intelligence, to find that does the sales efficiency of employees changes as per the emotional intelligence status changes or not. So we found that there is a direct relationship between sales intelligence and emotional quotient. We found that if the sale quotient of a salesperson is improved and improvised, his sales efficiency gets increased. So we took a sample of around 200 people from different companies which were having sales personals working under them, and we could find that if the sales efficiency is increased, his emotional intelligence also gets increased. So we did a lot of testing over them, and we could find that the way by doing different experiments, by improving their different intelligence, their performance got increased. There were few people in different companies who were never used to meet their sales target and used to always fail. They, due to different reasons, stress, family problems, other things. When we worked with them and we gave them an environment by which the emotional intelligence was improved of these people, automatically the sales efficiency got improved, and the people who are making were poor in their work performance, they started topping the charts. So this is one thing we found. The results of that test was that there was a correlation between sales quotient and emotional quotient found of 0.45, and we also found that the higher the value was, the better the performance of the individuals were there. We also found that emotional intelligence was contributing 45% of the working ability of the employees. Other 55% was pushed by doing different things like training, exposures, and environmental factors. Now, coming forwards, people who have high emotional intelligence, they are emotionally very illiterate, they are very sound, and they are very good decision makers. People who have high emotional quotient, they are always energized, and they do not lose their temper very easily. They take back, they understand, and then they react. Then most of the people who have high EQ have responsibilities for their emotions. So whatever actions they take, they will always hold themselves responsible. There's a distinction between they are very clear in their mind what is the difference between feelings and thoughts, and based on that they are able to react and act better in comparison to normal people. Now, different companies have different challenges. Like most of the employees have low tolerance level. They have very short product life cycles. There is a scarcity of resources. Skilled human power is not there. They have retentions. Operations they have to perform 24/7. Cooperation, collaboration is weakly balanced. Creativity and innovation is not there. So when we have a proper scaling for emotional intelligence and managing EQs of employees, we can overcome all these 9 factors which I am showing it to you. And it is all practiced and experimented, and they had showed 100% results. Now coming out to a concept called as emotional hijacking. So emotional hijacking is something which is related to rational thinking. It's something related to your brain. And, before I explain emotional intelligence, I must explain you the anatomy of your brain. And your brain has basically 2 things, amygdala and neocortex. The forebrain is responsible for cognitive and sensory motor functions. Mind brain is responsible for your muscles and vocal cords and person's actation. And hindbrain is something which is related to your breathing and swallowing reflexes. Now, how do I explain it to you? What do you mean by rational thinking? So if you see this diagram again, where you can see if you see the diagram properly, there is an eye. You observe and action. Your eyes captures it, and then it travels to your brain. It come to the hyper dynamics of your brain. So I'm sorry, just give me. Just give me. So when your eyes captures something, it goes to your cortex. Can you see this blue dot which is rotating? It is the new cortex of your brain. Whatever your eyes is capturing, it is going there. From there, it comes to the hypothalamus of your brain, and from there, it reaches to the spinal cord. This is how the action happens. Now, what exactly happens is that your amygdala is a almond shape organ. You can see the circle which is written amygdala. It is called as and the second is called as the neocortex, which is also called as the thinking brain. Sorry, sorry. Hello, hello.
Sir, continue,
I,
continue.
I'll
Continue, sir.
Yeah. So, so neocortex is also called as the thinking brain. So it's a bulb-like, it is the bulb of convoluted tissues which is found inside the amygdala. So whatever the important, actions which you take is the amygdala is responsible for. So now when it comes to the rational thinking, so your ears and eyes, the thought process goes through your ears and eyes, and it travels to your brain to the thalamus, and a signal from thalamus goes to the neocortex. That is what represented in the brain diagram. The branching allows amygdala to begin its response, and before the neocortex, which melts down information through the several layers of uh, prepares response. So what you see, basically it means whatever you see and how you react is the emotional hijacking. For example, you see a snake and you get scared immediately, and you runs back from the snake, and you don't take a proper action of necessary action to prevent yourself, but you take a very spontaneous and immediate reaction. So that is what emotional hijacking is all about, where you do not think the pros and cons, and you react very immediately, spontaneously. So this can be avoided if a person whose emotional intelligence is very, very, very high, and he will be able to take proper decisions and will be able to react properly. Now, I'll proceed further. So the key components of emotional intelligence are, there are four key components: self-awareness, social awareness, self-regulation, and relationship management. A person who has a very good emotional intelligence level, he is not only self-aware, he is also socially aware. He is able to interact with people, and he is able to react in different situations in an expected manner, not and in a more mature manner. Whereas self-regulation is the factor of these people who have high emotional intelligence. They're able to have their thing in their mind, where to stop, when to stop, and how to react and when to react. When it comes to relation management, people who have a better emotional intelligence, they know uh, which word is to be said when, and how is to be said, and how is the work is to be done by other people. So the many people, many leaders in the world who are very good leaders, use the relation management in collaboration with emotional intelligence, because they know how to manage people using relations and get the work done in a most efficient manner. Now, coming out, what is the importance of emotional intelligence? There are three things where emotional intelligence can be used. One is group effectiveness, second is leadership management, and third is organization management. So group effectiveness helps you in building trust, integrity, group efficiency. So if there is a good amount of trust and integrity in a group, they tend to be more loyal, and they tend to be give more and better results. When it comes to organization values, people who are having good emotional intelligence skills, they know very clear what are the mission statements and how they can act and bind with different employees with emotional bindings. Today, leaders and managers and senior managers are looking more towards the emotional intelligence in comparison to the intelligence quotient. Now coming out to be applications of emotional intelligence. There are three couple of important applications. Once better emotional intelligence helps in communication and trust and building. The more you are able to emotionally bind with your employees and colleagues and family members, the better you're able to communicate with them and will be able to build a trust over that. Now coming out to be, if a person is emotionally intelligent, they will have a very high learning skills, and they will be able to take decisions properly and will be able to develop new things in the existing process. They're able to balance human and work factors easily, and they will be able to pass almost all the competitions present in their work life. Now coming out to be enhancing emotional, how, what are the ways you can improve your emotion? One is that the more practical and mature way to handle and understand a problem, if is the way you will be enhancing your emotional intelligence. To be more precise, the for any problem, the way you react more maturely and wisely is the way you will be improving your emotional intelligence. Second thing is emotional literacy. Literacy, you need to understand and blend your emotions with the experiences which you are having around you. By doing that, you will be improving your emotional literacy, and you will be able to control all the seven core emotions of your life, and will be able to use it and place it in a right way, the way you want. The third and foremost important thing is that you can use meditation and techniques like NLP, that is neuralistic programming programs, which you can use to improve your emotional intelligence and can act better. So there were few things I could find in my research, is that emotional intelligence is twice more important than IQ and technical skills, because if you have a high IEQ, you will be able to not only perform your day-to-day task and work life, but able to interact more and more with the people and have a better name in the society. Most of the successful leaders around the world, be Jeff Bezos, be Tata, Birla, or other people, they focus more on emotional intelligence, because they know that if they are able to emotionally blend with their employees, they will be able to get more and more profit in comparison to the bureaucratic organization structure. When it comes to other things, maturity, emotional intelligence keep on increasing with your age. The more mature you become, the more level of emotional intelligence increases. It is not gender specific, and it is very much present in all kind of genders, and increases with the age. And basics, few other things, findings and suggestions I could find is that human beings are emotional beings. Emotion center in the human brain is more primitive than rational part, because most of us reacts based on the emotions present in our surrounding. There is a constant interaction between motion and rational thinking in human beings. And when it comes to both feelings as well as thoughts are considered, decision making of the brain improves by the better level of decisions we take. A person who is fully aware of his own feelings and of those are able to achieve his goals in a better manner in comparison to other people. So I would like to end with my presentation with a small, clip I would like to show, and I would like to understand what do you understand by seeing this clip.
0492. దీని ఛార్జింగ్ కూడా పెట్టలేను నేను.
So with this clip, I end my presentation. Thank you so much.
Good night, all of you. I'm Dr. Kumar from EC. Before really any of you ask a question, at the outset, we were to give the introduction of Dr. Amit. Okay, I'm very sure you listen to him now. So I'll give you a small brief about him, then you can start your questions. Okay, he's a business operations specialist in Amazon.com. After his science graduation, he has done his MBA from Usmania and MA in psychology from IGNOU. He has taken his PhD from AP Usenet Dreva in recruitment process education organization. As you listen to him, he's not only an expert speaker, he's a motivational speaker as well also. Many of his papers have won awards. He has written many books. The recent one, of course, the topic of today, emotional intelligence, an overview. Plus, I understand he's a good poet as well. Maybe towards the end, we'll listen to one of his poems. Thank you for us. Thank you for all of you joining. Anyway, we'll have a formal thanks afterwards also. Any of you want to ask questions, now you can start.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
ma'am.
good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
How we
Ma'am,
analyze
I
the
cannot hear.
person EQ?
Ma'am,
How
I
we
cannot
analyze
hear.
the person EI after seeing his behavior?
How we, ma'am, I cannot hear you properly. Some humming voice is coming. So you mean to say that how can we enhance emotional intelligence of a person by improving his behavior? Is that your question, ma'am? Hello? Hello?
Ma'am, please
Hello?
repeat the question if you can. Sangeeta ma'am.
She basically asked one question: how to measure this AI?
Hello, Dr.
Yes.
Amit. Yes.
Yes, Sangeeta ma'am.
Yes. Good morning, sir. Sir, my
Morning,
question is how we analyze the behavior of any person or ourselves by seeing his or her behavior, the EI label of the person, and how we
So,
treat
like I
our EI. Two questions I have.
So first question is that how do we measure the behavior of the person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as we all know, we are very good observers.
Yeah.
So there are 7 core emotions of the person. So any 7 core of the emotion, if a person's life is disturbed. So for example, I showed you the last clip. If everyone has seen, like where a person was trying to take a printout and ink pops in and he loses his cool and just bang the computer over the photocopy machine. So when there are small things which helps us to know that the person is not emotionally sound.
Yeah.
Either he will lose his temper very oftenly, or he will be very emotional to for a thing which doesn't matter, or he will very act as a very sympathetic manner, or he will be very aggressive. His actions will show you. once you see a difference in the way of a normally, normal person, there were two tests I mentioned. One is emotional intelligence scale by Anup and Upendra. Second test I mentioned the test. And by doing that, you will be able to find where the problem is he lacking empathy, is he lacking
Definitely, he will like, he or she will. Yes,
self
sir. Yes.
awareness. Haha. So once you will have the scores for the 10 scales, you will understand which emotion is not acting in a proper manner. And once you find that emotion, particular emotion, you will be able to correlate with the behavior of the person. Once you find that, obviously the problem statement will come in front of you that, okay, so for example, he has a family issues in his house. Somebody is not well in his house. That kind of stress is there. Second, his manager is pushing him too hard for the work which is he's not supposed to do. So entire race has embedded in his behavior, and that is the reason why he is acting in that manner. So when you get the complete picture in front of you, you will be in a better manner how to help as a psychologist or as a manager or as a faculty to the person. And once you do that, you will be able to not only help him coming out from that situation, but also will be able to help him understand better, to make better decisions and react better in his professional life. So I hope this answers both of your question, or if it is left, you can rephrase the question again.
There is any method to increase anybody's EI, because
So
some are once
EI, I
attempt.
tell you, ma'am,
Yeah,
emotional
yeah.
quotient is not a fixed thing.
Okay.
Okay, it
Just behave.
changes yeah, it changes as per your surrounding. Like as in my slides, as I said, I had mentioned that it is an integration of heart and bullet
Mind.
and mind
Yes.
with a constant C. So whatever thoughts are there in your heart and your mind with the surroundings around you, how people react, how people respond to a particular situation. So if you want to really improve your emotional intelligence, first thing you need to know how to control your emotions. If you're able to control your 7 emotions in all the particular states, situations,
If we
obviously.
talk about our student, we regularly watch the behavior of our student, because at this time number of students are attempting suicide,
Mhm.
and I don't know how to, if we are not with them, how to handle the emotional behavior of our students. So
So
is
first
that
of all, you need to understand what is the root cause. Any
yes.
problem, what is the root causes. So student is most of the students, like as you said, are committing suicides or attempting suicides. What is the reason behind? You're observing, you are seeing the 7 core emotions, but suicide is something different. What is making them to commit or to take a very drastic step, something called as ending up their life? You need to understand that first. For
Okay.
that, there is a separate test which is called as suicide analysis. There are around 10 to 12 features which you need to measure. As a faculty, you need to talk to them. It is called as one of the therapies called as talk it out therapy, where you need to talk to them as much as possible and understand what is the what is the mind status of the student is. See, most of your student, if I'm not wrong, they are the teenager students,
Yeah,
engineering first year, second year, third year students.
17-year-old.
So not most of them undergoes many hormonal changes. They don't understand what is the surrounding is about. They think that people don't value them, and their physical attire is changing so much, and people put a lot of restrictions over them. That is what their mental thought process is. So once you understand a situation of a student, you have to choose your words very wisely. So it is said, like,
So Dr.
words.
Dr. Amit, it means nobody is wrong, nobody is right. All the depend upon the mind situation and the chemical problems are there. Only that is the problem.
केमिकल प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं मैम, केमिकल प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं,
Okay.
आपके इन्वायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स के बेसिस पे
able to-
जो स्टूडेंट्स रहता है रिएक्ट करता है. जो
Correct.
आपका पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन है वो जो टीनेजर्स को लेके है, उनका नॉट ओनली इन्वायरमेंटल फैक्टर बट उनका हार्मोनल चेंज का फैक्टर भी रहता है. टीनेज में बहुत सारे हार्मोनल चेंजेस आते हैं बच्चों में, जिसके वजह से बहुत सारे खासकर लड़के एग्रेसिव रहते हैं, शॉर्ट टेम्पर्ड रहते हैं, उनमें पेशेंस नहीं रहता. दे डोंट टेंड टू लिसन टू द एल्डर्स. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ opposing them, try to show they are very much practical and अगर आप उनको सही तरीके से सही वर्ड्स में समझाओगे तो उनको समझ में आएगा. हाँ, so अगर आप बोलोगे किसी बच्चे को कि आपको ये नहीं करना है तो नहीं करना, यू डोंट, आपको वो चीज अथॉरिटेटिव वे में नहीं बोलनी है, बिकॉज दे विल act exactly opposite if you say that.
Definitely, sir.
So you have to understand in which situation the person is, and based on that you have to propose a situation and let it be.
Thank you, Amit.
Most welcome.
Dr. Amit, my question is a bit emotional. Are you very related to Group Captain Bhupen Singh at Phillora?
Yes, yes, sir. He is my father. He is my father.
Oh God, I have taught him. I am taught him at GC, Government College, Jabalpur. He is an electronic graduate.
Oh wow, that, yes, sir.
He's working with some.
Yes, sir. He is Dean Management in Engineering Staff College of India. Sir.
Hyderabad, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Last year he called me up and I had a talk with him. Please convey my hello to him, okay?
Definitely,
I am
sir.
Dr. A.K. Srivastava. I am Dr. A.K. Srivastava. Convey my hello to him. He's a father, is it?
Yeah, sir.
Yes,
I told
sir.
him.
He is my father.
I told him earlier, sir. I told him about you.
Okay, very nice. Very.
Okay.
Please convey my regards to him.
I'll definitely do that, sir. I'll definitely do that. Sir.
Thank you.
Most welcome, sir.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Dr. Amit, this is Dr. Kumar from EC. I understand you are helping presently in your job others to publish, print and even marketing books and paperbacks. It's only in English or in vernacular also, or any topics or every topic?
Sir, I am an author. I write on all topics. I have blogs and I have author pages. So I write poems. I write Hindi, English, both languages. And most of the books are on psychology and emotion and management. My books like mental health education and conceptual selling and blue ocean strategy are very well known. You can Google it, Google them. Very recently, I have published this book, Emotional Intelligence and Overview. I have poems, Hindi poems as well as English poems, very well known. Trilogue, Why Mothers Are Important, or Kaise Tumhe Samjhaun. Other, and keep writing papers as well.
वो जो साथी गई थी हैदराबाद को नहीं, फिलोरा को फोन किया तो उसका लड़का है डॉक्टर
शिवसाव साहब, फोन म्यूट कीजिए प्लीज.
हेलो.
Yes, sir.
No, my question was, you help others also, other authors too?
No, sir. I mean, in my previous skill, authors used to contact my team, which was Kindle Direct Publishing. So we used to give them basic guidelines how they can, publish their book through Amazon. That was the basic role.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Most welcome, sir.
Any more questions, please?
So
Hello.
please ask.
Hello,
Hello.
sir. I'm Shilpa. I would like to ask you one question.
Yes.
Sir, in this COVID time, which emotion should we have so that all our fears are gone and we can lead a normal life?
Um, See, for this, ma'am, you need to first understand your environment, in which environment you're staying. Is I suppose you are a medical doctor, and you might be surrounded with many patients around. So it's very important for you to be, patient. Patience is the only thing which will help you in balancing all the seven emotions of your life. And you have to be very patient and understand what exactly you're looking for, because if you fear, you will not be able to perform. If you're angry, again, you will be giving a negative side of your work profile. Or if you show aggression, again, it will create imbalance in your emotion. So basically, you have to have your patient build up very high, so that with the patience you will be able to measure and stabilize all the seven emotions. So you don't have to focus on the seven emotions, Shilpa. You have to focus on how to control these seven emotions.
मैंने मेरा तो हो गया, अभी
Hello.
अभी नहीं आ रही है.
Hello.
हाँ सर.
Thanks a lot, sir. That was very helpful.
Most welcome.
Hello.
Yes, Aarti ma'am, tell me.
So my question is, what hypothesis test can I do for nominal data?
Sorry, nominal data for what? For what? Which stream? I mean, what do you want to find?
That means the p-value of hypothesis testing. So what is the p-value of hypothesis testing?
No,
Why it is
you're
important?
asking. No, you're asking research methodology from me, or you're asking
Research methodology
uh,
for.
So first you need to understand what is quantitative and qualitative method analysis, ma'am. Once you understand that, based on that, what kind of sample you are taking. If you are taking, n is equal to 30 and n is equal to less than 30, depends which scales are you're using. If you're using n is equal to 30 and above, which kind of samples data you're using, chi-square or ANOVA multivariate. There are a whole lot of
Yes.
different tests are there. So first you need to identify what you want to find and what you want to, is it a qualitative thing or it's a quantitative thing? Non-parametric and parametric testing aapne padha hoga, I guess. So once you prepared on that, then decide what exactly you want to find. Based on that only you will be able to do hypothesis testing. Before understanding hypothesis testing, you need to understand what qualitative method and quantitative method analysis. That is what my suggestion is.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, I'm not able to hear you. Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Gayatri ma'am, you were asking something.
Yes, sir. Sir, regarding the EI, like how to improve a person or any strategies is there or techniques is there to improve EI, sir? Like being
Like,
a parent and also a teacher, I want to know few of the strategies.
so, ma'am, like I said, EI increases with your age and maturity. So how you see a problem depends on that. First and foremost thing to have, better EI is not to be judgmental. You cannot be judgmental. Erase that thing from your mind. So whatever situation comes in your life, it is irrespective of student or family or other thing, you cannot be judgmental. You have to first and see the pros and cons of the situation, and should be able to take a decision which is a non-biased decision. If you're able to do that, that you will be considered as a mature person. But if you lot of bias or judgment things are coming in your way to take a decision, then you'll have to work on the decision making skills, so that you should not be judgmental. For that, one of the most thing most of the people do is meditation. Second, it's called as progressive muscle relaxation therapy. It's a combination of yoga and breathing exercises and meditation, which people do, which increases the concentration power of the person. The better the concentration power is, the better your decision making skills will be. I think she left. Are you there? Okay, yes. So that's one way you can improve your emotional intelligence. Another thing you can do is that you can learn
No. I'm hello.
through yeah, you can learn through NLP programs, that is neuralistic programming, which is very much famous these days. There are many NLP programs running out throughout the country. You can undergo through that. Second, like I said, to try to become non-judgmental. Third, like I said, try to do meditate and yoga exercises. Fourth is try to do progressive muscle relaxation therapy, which is the breathing and muscle exercises, which will improve the blood circulation of your brain, and will also help you in concentrate better towards the problem. And if you are able to concentrate on a problem in a better manner, you will be able to take decisions in better and stronger way. I hope that answers Gayatri ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Most welcome, ma'am.
Any more questions, please?
Yes, Aisha Raman. I'm sorry, she is not audible to me.
Maybe she was only trying. Sauravji, should we close if there's no more question? Yes, Dr. Amitji, another question, of course, not related to this topic. You were saying about poems. Will you be able to say at least any particular topic or any particular line? If it's a doha or chaupai, whatever it may be.
I have one. Just give me a moment. I very recently I had published a few of my lines. I would like to share that. Just give me a minute.
Sure. Take your time, please.
So here it goes. कैसे तुम्हें समझाऊं, मैं बन के तुमसे क्यों मिलूं, मैं तुमसे तुम बनकर क्यों ना मिलूं, तुम्हारे अस्तित्व का करता हूं आदर, पर क्यों भूल कर अपना अस्तित्व तुम्हारे अस्तित्व में खो जाऊं. मैं हूं, तुम नहीं। ये बातें मैं तुम्हें कैसे समझाऊं? तुम्हें पहचानने के लिए मैं क्यों तुम बन जाऊं? अपनी वास्तविकता को क्यों त्याग दूं? मेरे अस्तित्व में दिखे छाप तुम्हारी। ये बात है अच्छी, पर है सिर्फ तुम्हारी। ये मैं तुम्हें कैसे समझाऊं? तुम हो सखी मेरी, जीवन संगनी मेरी। तुमसे मैं हूँ, मुझसे तुम हो। करती हो तुम मुझे पूरा। ये मैं तुम्हें कैसे समझाऊं? राह एक, मंजिल एक, चलना है साथ। पर मैं बनकर वो पाऊं, और तुम बनकर वो चाहो। क्यों ना चलो साथ मिलके वो पाएं जो हम चाहें। ये बात मैं तुम्हें कैसे समझाऊं? अपने आप को खोकर मैं तुम्हें क्यों पाऊं? मैं तुम बनकर तुम्हें क्यों पाऊं? क्यों ना मैं बनकर तुम्हें पाऊं? ये बात मैं तुम्हें कैसे समझाऊं? थैंक यू.
Very nice. You written in this period only now, is it?
Yes, it's a very recent poem, sir.
Yes, yes. I understand. Anyway, it was very nice listening to you, Dr. Amit. Excellent.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So, I heard a lot about you apart from going through our biodata. I really appreciate the time you have given for us and the effort you have taken, etc. So, on behalf of our NC department, thank you very sincerely. Okay. So,
Thank you
thank
so much,
all
sir.
others too. All others too are present: faculty members, directors, OSDs, principals present, secretary sir, and our HOD herself. Okay. Thank you all, and students, of course, especially. I never saw any question from any student, but anyway, nice of you. Thanks for your presence.
No
Thank you,
problem,
sir.
sir. If the students have any questions, they can always mail me. I'll be
Yeah,
happy
you can.
to answer them.
Yeah, sure. I'll share your email ID with them.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the interactive session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Okay, sir. Bye. So we have shared the link on the chat box. If there is any problem with the link, please tell.
Yes, it's required sign in, but it's not working.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
When we open the link now, it requires sign in and it's not working.
So it requires sign in. Please go, ma'am. Please go through the email ID, ma'am. With the email ID, sign in problem. Gmail से आप कनेक्ट करिए या कोई सी भी आईडी आपकी उससे कनेक्ट करिए.
Okay. Can I put my mail to chat box?
No, it's not required. Please fill the form. In that form, you have to put your email ID. Email ID and some details.
Okay, I'm just opening the link now. Is it asking either to fill out this form, you must be sign in, your identity will be
Sign
revealed.
in. First, you have to sign in via Gmail or anything else.
But sign in is not opening now.
So it's not working. I'm having the same problem.
Same window is coming. Sign
Yeah,
in.
it's not going to go inside and not signing in.
Not going to inside, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Uma, sir?
It's saying a report to abuse or something like that.
Yeah,
It's not working.
It's not working.
Okay. Just wait for a second.
Okay.
जिन लोगों को साइन इन प्रॉब्लम आ रही है वो प्लीज अपने मेल आईडी से एक बार साइन इन करें। आप लोगों ने साइन इन नहीं किया होगा, एक बार ट्राई करिए, फिर से हो जाएगा। वो जीमेल से जनरली साइन इन करने में हो जाता है। और जिनका सर्टिफिकेट अभी नहीं आया है थोड़ी देर में आ जाएगा, प्लीज डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, बस फॉर्म फिल कर दें।
हेलो।
हाँ जी।
हेलो।
हाँ सर।
जीमेल सिंक्रोनाइज्ड ब्राउजर से अगर लॉगिन करें, जीमेल सिंक्रोनाइज्ड ब्राउजर में अगर लिंक खोलेंगे तो बिना साइन इन किए भी सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा।
ठीक है।
फॉर्म खुलता है वहां पर डायरेक्ट।
सर्टिफिकेट कल भी शाम वाला नहीं था सर मेरे पास में।
सर कल शाम वाला हमारे को भी नहीं मिला।
हेलो।
हाँ हेलो।
Some problem is there with the link.
सर्टिफिकेट नहीं इशू हुआ अभी तक।
सर्टिफिकेट कुछ लोगों को थोड़ी देर बाद आ जाएगा। फॉर्म बस प्रॉपरली भर गया है कि नहीं ये बस अपन को देखना है।
फॉर्म तो भर दिया, आ भी गया है उसमें फॉर्म का स्कोर भी देख 1.5।
जी जी जी। आफ्टर दैट कुछ लोगों का भी नहीं आया, ये क्वेरी है तो थोड़ी देर से आ जाएगा, आप प्लीज वेट कर लें।
सर मेल पे आ जाएगा सर्टिफिकेट
जी,
कुछ टाइम बाद मेल पे सर्टिफिकेट आ जाएगा।